Lovely purples. We are gonna play a bit more of the wreck. And yesterday we stopped with another scene where we. Oh, okay. Welcome to Screenplayer. Open most recent file. Oh, you can also see here 61% complete. We were streaming long yesterday, huh? And when I finished the game, not to finish the game, but when I stopped to play this game, I went back to the screen. You didn't see this anymore. But this is basically what happened, but I can't scroll up. So this is the screenplay we're having. Junon is saying it takes time. And Alex chuckles with sadness. Yeah, that's it. It takes time, except the more time passes, the worse it gets. I'm getting tired of waiting. What are you saying, Alex? What are you saying? And that was very dramatical yesterday. I felt a bit uncomfortable at the end because I don't know what happened there. Alex said something. This place is as beautiful as ever, really beautiful. Bye, June. Good luck. Alex, don't. Alex? Alex! He was at the place where they were with their kids together. So reminiscing about the old days, but I have a very, very bad feeling here. So let's see what this is about. Shit. Gotta get over there.
Shit, Alex.
The bad feeling.
I have a really bad feeling about this. Alex is strong, but he didn't look well. I've never seen him like this. I could be imagining this, but if anything happens to him, I will never forgive myself.
I hate this scene. And so we crash again, yeah. Maybe we can make it better this time, which is what's gonna be the item this time. The lighter. The book. Are we in that same room again? We are, right? So that was a birthday party. I wonder what's gonna be New Year. Looking around. Oh, we're going into this room this time. I don't know this room. That's the gallery, the workshop. We were here when she was little. The fire in the kitchen, of course. So what's new here? The truth.
You did what?
Oh, come on. I panicked. I just felt like something shady was about to happen. If you think I had any time to think. And also, I was drunk as a skunk, so...
You're insane? Completely insane?
You really think so?
Yeah. This is $3,000 whiskey. You could at least have saved me a glass.
So stupid.
I wouldn't drink this at all. I would try to sell it, to be honest.
I always told him everything, because I felt like he understood me. I can't just ignore other people's judgment. I'm not strong enough. But with Alex, I never felt judged.
Oh, that was a fast scene. What about this one? The dollhouse. Alex and me. Thank you for the lurk, Jan, and sleep well, yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's so quiet. So nothing here. We're gonna zoom in again. That to me is a way better execution instead of going a full loop and repeat. I agree. Did I turn off the music? Why is it so calm? But I didn't change anything with the settings. Streaming mode, motion sickness. Maybe there is some music here, but because of the streaming mode, we can't hear it. Early evening. Oh, I got it. Love.
Do you remember the first time we made love?
Hi, people. Hello.
Your arm got stuck as you took your shirt off, and you just stood there with your boobs out. That picture is forever etched in my memory.
Of course.
Were you ever gonna come to my help?
Certainly not. I had waited so long for that moment. I was relishing it.
I will always love your father, you know. Forever. Being able to strip naked, completely naked, and feeling good anyway, that's rare. I hope that I will experience this feeling again one day with someone else. But I'm happy to have known that once in my life already. With him.
Well, that means lots of trust, huh? And now the book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces by Joseph Campbell. I thought you told us yesterday that this book is actually really existing. Oh, that's the scene with her apartment. Well, she's open to talk about this to Astrid. But Astrid is not there anymore, Des. She's just having this conversation with herself. I forgot to share the link. No worries.
All right. You settled?
More or less.
And what are you up to? Are you writing again?
Shoot, Jan, how did you know?
Lady, this isn't rocket science. You're just like Mom. It's in your blood. Why do you think Alex has been pushing you all these years? You're the only one who's unaware that you're an artist.
For a long time, I thought Alex was pushing me to write out of mercy because he thought that it would somehow fill a void in my life. It never occurred to me that maybe I was actually talented and that he had figured it out.
Had an impression for a long time she was talking to her little font, which I understood. Yeah, it is Astrid, but Astrid is not living anymore. No, you are right with that, but she is having this conversation with herself, and I think she's imagining an older Astrid, trying to make her understand what's going on with her life, what's going on with her mom. It's about lots of self-reflection here. People, I'm doing good. What about yourself? Thank you for asking. I'm just cold today. I'm very cold. Oh, I need to zoom in again. I hate self-reflection time. I know, but sometimes it's very much necessary to become a better person for yourself and also for the people around you. Learning from mistakes.
It's
Unbroken.
time to say goodbye to your dad, I guess. I mean, farewell to us. I can no longer be with him because your absence would take up too much space. And also because I realize now that our relationship had something kind of unhealthy. But that doesn't take away from who he is or from what he gave me. Our story together is ending, but each of us still exists. And we're even stronger than before because we've grown up, ready for a better rest of our lives. Shaken, transformed, rattled, but unbroken.
That's a very nice metaphor there. Yeah, like she's talking to Astrid's grave, for example, but she's not here anymore, but still. Then I don't understand. Because that's...
How am
The accident happened like 5 years ago, right? Unbroken.
Today it's your dad who feels like his heart is in a million pieces. And this time, I'm the one who can help him understand that it's not all broken. I don't know. What happened to us was as unfair as it gets. I understand why it looks impossible to overcome. But I also know that you will find a way. That's who you are, Alex. You always find solutions. I'm actually trying to learn that from him.
Sounds relatable. The game made me think again yesterday how quickly everything can be over and that we only have a short time in this world. I agree. I mean, she's dealing with the question what's going to happen to her mom because she's getting life support. She is dealing with, she's grieving still. I can feel that. She's grieving that she lost her daughter. It was probably a car accident, and that was 5 years ago. So there are a lot of things she's going through right now, and everyone is doing this differently, right? Do you remember my stalker? Do you remember the Gare du Nord?
Do you remember the Gare du Nord?
What are you talking about?
When Astrid dropped Stinky Moose and he fell on the tracks. The train pulled in and she was crying her entire life out. I was already picturing Stinky Moose split in half. And what did you do?
I borrowed a selfie stick from a tourist.
You lay down on the platform and fished out Stinky Moose just in time. And you gave him back to Astrid without even cleaning him up?
You.
Filthy slob.
Are you still hung up on that? The whole thing was a rush. I wasn't thinking.
Very spontaneous.
You'll be all right, Alex. Sometimes you need to let go of things you thought would be forever. But you're still here, unbreakable. And to be honest, Pauline is totally Eva Mendes.
Come on, you're stupid. You know I'm not actually Ryan Gosling, right?
No?
Let me live my fantasies, please.
Thank you, Junon. Do you think it was damaging, us being together?
To each other or to ourselves?
Well, that's a good question here. We did what we could. You know what they say. I don't care what they say. That's not important. That's a very good question. I'm good. I need a rest after making a presentation about STD. Okay, then time to chill, people. Don't work too much. From what I've gathered, we are reliving her past, and when she talks, it is like she's talking to someone. My interpretation is that she's telling the story to us as she here. No, I don't think she's telling the story to Astrid as she's here. I think she's using the past. I'm not sure if I'm remembering this right, but that's what I'm thinking. But yes, she is reliving her past, but maybe with other decisions, since we're always time traveling to see how we would act in a different way, in a better way, in an ideal way, I guess. Hi, Forts. Hello there. Welcome here. We did what we could.
We did what we could.
I would have loved to know another way.
Yeah, but it makes sense that we can only now understand these things.
Because Astrid is also not here right now.
I'm sorry for what I said about Marie. I hope she gets better.
It's okay, Alex. I'm not going to blame you for always being on my side.
Did you go see her?
No, not yet.
You should. Because you never know.
You're right. Of course he's right. Then why is it so hard?
Decisions. Decision making. I'm also not good with that.
Junon, I need to tell you something. I know that you don't remember the accident, and I know you can't help it. And I know it's not fair, but I resent you for that. And it scares me.
Oof, that's rough to hear. It scares me too.
I'd like to believe that knowing what happened that day wouldn't change a thing. But I know that's not true. Because there are only two options. Either my daughter is dead, or I killed my daughter.
That's very rough to think. It's not going to change the situation, but you're always going to think about that, I think. Very bad at making decisions. Yeah, it's my brain is trying to consider just everything because I don't want to hurt people. And that's making it hard sometimes. Scares?
Scares.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel really angry. I think that not knowing is driving me crazy. So if one day you do remember something, anything really, please tell me.
I don't know if I will, but
And this is one of the reasons why they can't be together anymore. If he's having these feelings. It's quite interesting when a couple is losing their children, their child. Most of them are breaking up because it's just too much of a burden. I like to know as well. I'll try. My driving instructor got mad at another driver who's holding him. Why was he getting mad?
I too would like to know. And I too am angry.
Oh, June, I'm sorry,
Could you stop being sorry all the time? That is not sexy. Is Ryan Gosling ever sorry in the movies, huh? And what about Hugh Grant? Is he sorry? Huh? Hey, Adam Driver?
I mean, yeah, they do have that hangdog look.
Fair point.
I've got to go, June.
Don't do anything stupid, okay?
What? No way. I would never. Did I sound that depressed to you?
A little bit, yeah. But I could be projecting.
Maybe. This talk was way better. Way
I
better.
just need to... I'm going to call Pauline, actually. Say hi to Diane for me. And good luck with your mom. It's going to be okay.
I think so too. I'll talk to you soon, Alex.
Intense.
What a conversation. But I think it really helped us. Really. Why couldn't we talk like this before?
That's literally what I said yesterday. Literally. Because then you're realizing, it's over now. But then you're realizing it was possible, but it was not possible in that moment back then. I was driving correct, and the driver was next to me, and his line was construction. So he had to come in the line that I was in, but there was a sign that you can't go to the other. Okay. Oh, I would be also be very mad, to be honest. So is Alex and Juno a couple? I don't know anything at this point. They were a couple, but they had the car accident with their daughter. She didn't survive. And these two also broke up. So two exes are trying to get along with each other. Yeah, it's a very sad story. Why couldn't we talk like this before?
That depends on what before we're talking about here. Before you were born? Before you died? Or before we split up?
I mean, a relationship is also changing a lot once you're having a kid. Because you're not just a couple anymore, you're parents now. So I guess before we split up.
Before we split up, I think we didn't feel like talking anymore. At all. Alex was paralyzed with fear. Talking about what happened made things too real. Me, on the other hand, I didn't know what was left to say. I miss you a lot, Hey, what are you doing here? Did you follow me? It's forbidden to be here. Hey, wait! Where are these kids' parents? Come back! That could be dangerous! Oof. I haven't run this much since high school.
Especially when such a stroke of fate hits a young family, everything changes quickly. Absolutely, yeah.
Hello? This kid, I swear.
That looks dangerous. Anyone here?
Anyone here? There she is. What is she up to? Hey, get down from there. It's dangerous.
Don't worry, Mom. It's fine.
It's Astrid.
No, no, no. I've got to get out of here. Seriously though, what is happening? Am I going crazy?
What happened that day? Hallucinations? To be honest, if you're losing a person who's very close to you, you're gonna see that person. You're gonna see that person, and you're gonna talk to that person. I think that's a very natural thing. Everyone deals with pain differently. One gets over it quicker than the other, and that can cause conflict. Oh, absolutely. Everyone is grieving differently as well. But the one important thing is just we should not judge each other for doing this in a different way. That's very, very important. What happened that day?
What happened that day? There's no way I forgot everything. It's gotta be there somewhere.
It's so interesting that our brain is shutting down because of the big trauma.
Will you be sticking around this time, or are you gonna run away again?
What the?
What the hell is happening?
Hey, what's up with the curse words? Are they allowed now?
Did you just hear what I was thinking?
Are you surprised? You've been talking to me in your head for years. Was I supposed to leave you hanging forever?
Is it really you?
Nope. It couldn't possibly be the real me, seeing how I'm, dead. Like Dad used to say, there's nothing wrong with asking questions. Just make sure you think before you ask.
She also didn't get older. Like, it happened 5 years ago, but she didn't grow anymore, you see? She was talking to her in her mind, yeah. Listen here, Missy. So what are you?
Listen here, Missy. That's enough sass from you. I can still bust your ass even if you're a ghost or whatever.
I'm not a ghost. At least, I don't think so. Let's just say that I'm here. Isn't that good enough?
It's more than good enough, my little fawn. This is the best thing that's happened to me in a long time. Probably the most worrying thing also.
True.
Mom, am I really scaring you right now?
Hey, don't do that. Did nobody teach you it's rude to read people's minds?
How about you stop thinking and talk to me instead?
You've grown so much. I'm happy to see you.
I'm so happy to see you.
So am I. And I think you're very pretty.
Oh, thank you, little fawn. I only sleep about 5 hours a night. My hair is so dirty that it won't budge even if I untie it. And I'm smoking more than the Amazon rainforest under Bolsonaro.
That's very bad.
That was a good one.
That's many kills, Mom.
Typical me. Would that be so bad?
Would that be so bad?
Lame. If you really were gonna kill yourself, wouldn't you have done it by now?
You're pretty sharp for an imaginary kid.
Come on, let's check out what's upstairs. Oh, wow. The view's really nice.
Astrid,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Astrid.
Sorry for what?
You know.
I have no idea. I don't read minds anymore. My mom raised me better than that.
That's cute, little fawn. I'm so sorry about...
I sleep on a 5-hour daily basis, and my hair will have. You have no more. No, fuck. I'm glad you didn't lose your humor. That wasn't a joke.
That wasn't a joke.
Sorry, I'm sorry. It's just... Do you remember what happened?
No.
No. I mean, I remember that we were going to Mina's birthday party. I was driving, but after that, it's all a blur.
See? That's why I was laughing. You totally forgot how it happened. For all you know, we were struck by a meteor through the windshield or something. So I ask again. Why are you sorry?
Stop it.
Stop it. I know what you're trying to do, but whatever happened, it was me, Astrid. It was my fault.
All right. You're not ready to talk. You need more time to think.
And she's gone.
Astrid. Come back.
The game reminds me of a movie on Netflix called Sweet Girl. Never heard of this one. What is this movie about? Think.
Needs more time to think. What did she mean by that? What am I even talking about? I'm mulling over my dead daughter's imaginary advice. I'm going off the deep end here.
What happened that day? What happened? It's so funny. It's even saying, don't forget. I forgot everything.
I'm starting to remember.
What was it?
So blurry. As if I didn't really want... What the hell am I afraid of?
Every time this is happening, I'm just getting goosebumps, by the way. I hate it. Sunglasses. My phone. Did she drive and hit Astrid because of the moose?
What
I
does
think
it
she was
mean
inside the
to be a
car.
mother? Is it being 100% focused on your child? Is it always knowing what to do? Never having any doubt? Is it sacrificing your ambitions? If you do all that, are you automatically a good mom? And what if you don't manage it? Does that make you a bad mom? I've asked myself all of these questions a lot. Do you want to try and find an answer together?
Man lives with his daughter one day. One of the two dies, and then the person thinks all the time that nothing happened, but the movie is kind of okay. Okay. Sweet Girl, it's called. Sounds interesting. To be a mother.
Good mom? Bad mom? Maybe I should start with telling you the fun moments.
Brave. Damn, she was demonstrating for the climate change.
So fired up by your birth. I felt like I was high on drugs. I was taking care of you, working, seeing friends. I was living. Alex and I even became involved in politics. We were trading weekends to attend climate marches. I was ready to fight to make a change in the world.
Look at that. The birds are back.
It kind of came out of nowhere. I was feeling gunky and I was a bit late, so I decided to take a test without putting too much stock into it. And here is the picture I sent to your dad. I remember that the stick wasn't even dry yet. Can you imagine the surprise? I'll admit that back then, I didn't know whether I would be pregnant one day. Your dad and I hadn't really planned it this way. We'd been talking for a while about having a kid one day, but that was only a plan. In the meantime, we were being careful, but we obviously hadn't met you yet. Of course, a mere condom wasn't going to stop you. I was
Oops.
happy. Just happy. Nothing else. It was an incredible feeling.
Sometimes she describes things in maybe too much detail. You think so? I mean, she's a very direct person, and I think I like that.
Before you were born, Alex had been on my ass to get in touch with the friend of a cousin of one of his friends who was a producer. Anyway, I was supposed to schedule a meeting with him during the next Cannes festival. I wasn't planning on going to Cannes at all, but I did what I was told. I managed to slip into a party where I eventually met the guy, and it worked out. Yeah. We spent the night smoking cigs, sounding off about the worst turkeys from the festival, and a few weeks later, I was writing a spec for a series.
Damn. I mean, also the voice actor fits so well to this character. I really need to say that. I also like it when someone is direct like that. Yeah. I also like that. So what's new? Oh god, it's spinning so much.
Thus,
Oh!
within the span of a year,
Success.
I delivered 2 babies. Astrid, in January, just over 8 pounds, hungry as a wolf, and a mug to die for. And then, my first professional screenplay in August. 47 pages. A veritable leap forward in my career. All of a sudden, things just fell into place. I was a screenwriter. I was getting paid for writing. Sure, it was a crappy series, but that turd paid very well. I was so proud of everything that was happening to me.
I have exactly the same pencil, by the way.
I sleep over it for weeks.
It feels dark, but also a bit obscene. What was obscene about it? Also, like when someone is direct, but sometimes we were too direct. I would not say things like that to my daughter. I mean, if your daughter, I don't know, is 20, 30 years old, you can definitely say that. Definitely. I mean, that was not very detailed. That was not really detailed, but it's just showing that you have a great relationship, to be honest. That you can share a lot of things. I was not thinking that was obscene. That's quite interesting. It would be more obscene if she would have just if she would have described it in a different way, like more in the details, but she didn't. To be mother.
Because there were some darker thoughts too. The ones your light could not dispel. 58 tons per year. A kid equals 58 tons of carbon dioxide per year. That's the same as 58 plane trips to New York and back, or burning 50 tons of coal. Having a baby in this world, as everything was collapsing around us, that was a stupid idea. You didn't really get the chance to witness it, but this is a funny time we're living in. Imagine having an incredible daughter and a job you've wanted forever, and then you get glued to a screen and it bums you out. I would see people on social media, people I would never even have heard of in real life, and they were great parents, great artists, working on great stuff, having great success. Everybody seemed way ahead of me. And it felt like it was my fault for being so behind. How dared I aspire to being happy?
Yeah, that's the struggle.
A couple of months before you were born, Marie showed up with a cardboard box under her arm. She had found the mobile. When I was preparing for your arrival, I
saw
hung
it
it above
earlier.
your crib. After you were born, I would spend hours watching it turn every time you breathed. It was always moving, finding its balance. Wonderful. Alive. Just like you, and also so fragile. Way too delicate. A mere gust of wind could have shattered it to a million pieces. Just like you.
To one of my good friends, but no, not my daughter. I don't know the age of Astrid. No, wait, not to a little kid. No, but I don't know if your kid is an adult, you can talk about that. I think it's very important to talk about this, to be honest. Of course, not in details. Nobody wants to hear this in details, but it's helping a lot to have a proper relationship with your own body, I think. To be a bit more, not just open minded, but talking freely about it. Hard to explain, I guess. Anyway, the demonstration. Oh, you should do that, Pan. I think that's a great idea. Oh, wait. That was here. Maria was here.
I found it adorable that Marie came to bring us this mobile. And yet, I was scared when I learned I was pregnant. I was scared at the mere idea of telling her. It was beyond me. I panicked. So I decided to hide you for as long as I could. Obviously, she eventually noticed that I was pregnant. And her reaction was unexpected. She was jumping for joy. Why had I been so scared? It seemed so silly.
You didn't know. You just didn't know. Afraid. Oh, the bird picture's also here.
I know. Breastfeeding while on a cell phone isn't exactly what you picture from a perfect mother. Well, that only happened once. Or maybe twice. Or a bunch of times, actually. I loved connecting with you, you know? It was a magnetic force. Time disappeared when I looked into your eyes. But sometimes I was overwhelmed by everything else. The earth that keeps on spinning, the anxiety of not doing enough, projects at a standstill while others are going full speed, and then the fear that it would all stop That's always a little bit there. But I think I was stronger than that in the end.
Bird seems to have an important symbolic meaning in the story. I agree. They're always here, which I like, of course. So what am I missing? Mistake.
Oh, wow. I just remembered something that happened years ago. I guess I was 16 or 17 years old. I was in my room, staring at this mobile instead of doing my homework. Marie was in the next room, the living room, giving an interview. It was a first. I overheard her talking to the journalist with a soft voice. She was obviously trying to win her over. It was funny at first. She was giving all these juicy details about the crazy nights of a female artist in the 80s. And then she said she got pregnant after one of those nights. And at that time, she seriously thought about giving up the child. And suddenly, I understood that that child, the one she didn't want, that mistake, that was me.
Oh, this crumbling sound. Not enough.
To me, being a mom was one of the greatest joys in my life. I wanted to feel you growing inside of me and then meet you and live all that, the whole experience. And writing was the same. I really wanted to do it, and then I actually did. I wanted these things. I bore them and I cherished them. But I struggled with them too, because I was scared. I had doubts, but really most of all I had this lingering feeling that maybe I shouldn't have been there. And when I lost you, and writing had lost its meaning, that feeling came back with a vengeance. This feeling, this knowledge that whatever I do, it is not enough.
Good night, dear people. Sleep well. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Why are you sorry?
Not enough.
It's hard to be a good parent when you're a damaged adult. You become responsible for a life. That requires courage, confidence, and a lot of nerve. And it's really easy to get it wrong.
What does that mean?
How can I explain? For the first few months of your life, you were like an extension of me. You couldn't talk, you couldn't walk, you could barely see, actually. And I was feeding you out of my own body.
Yuck.
Yeah, yuck. Having your life in my hands. That funny feeling. That's what being a mom was all about to me. And then one day...
You got sick.
You got sick. It just looked like a cold at first.
Marie would send me some grandma remedies. Alex would wash your nose.
Alex would wash your nose twice a day with saline. Pulling neon yellow snot tentacles out of your nose amused him no end. I couldn't do it. Then things got worse. One Friday night I was alone with you. You started having difficulty breathing. You were in the living room, stacking wooden cubes, and I just kept staring at your chest. You were struggling to get enough air into your lungs. I tried copying your breathing, and I got woozy. It set my head.
So, what did you do?
I wrapped you up in a baby carrier. I grabbed my
I
phone.
wrapped you in a baby carrier and I ran outside. It was the fall. I remember the ground being littered with sticky leaves. I called Alex on the way, but he couldn't understand me. I could hardly speak clearly. I was so scared that you were going to die. When I got to the doctor's office, I was a mess. The doctor asked me what was wrong with you, and I said that you were having difficulty breathing, and he was so calm. He made me want to smash his teeth in. He asked me to put you down on the examination table and take your shirt off so he could listen to your breathing. And when he got close to you with his stethoscope...
What happened?
You peed on him.
You peed on him.
Excuse me?
This beautiful golden stream, a perfect arc from your hoo-ha to his coat.
Awkward.
Well, you didn't mind at the time. You were chirping and staring at him. And he said, well, this little girl looks perfectly healthy. And I started crying.
Well, yeah, you must have been relieved.
I thought so at the time. But it was more than that. I can see it now. The most important part of being a parent, and also the hardest lesson to learn. You need to trust your children.
Trust them to pee on doctors?
Trust them to live. You weren't there so I could feel like a good mother. You were there to live your life, to become yourself. Seems obvious, doesn't it? But I didn't see it. So I spent a lot of my time feeling guilty. Telling myself that I didn't deserve you.
What? I don't believe it. I was your biggest fan, you know?
Really?
Of course. You're relentless. You even found the time to work on your scripts. You were working your ass off to make your stories amazing while you were busy taking care of me. How did you manage to be strong like that?
It was really hard. I mean, your father was there as well. What should I take? Your dad was there as well. Honestly, I get the feeling that she's an edgy personality. I disagree. I think she is just very self-confident. Edgy. She's not cheeky or something. I don't think she's edgy. I also don't think, because Pan, I was reading your message, this is what I meant was explaining peeing on a doctor in such detail necessary. It was necessary. I think such a simple act like this, for a mother who's very much worried that the kid is not breathing properly, and then she just peed on the doctor. I think that was very much necessary to calm things down, that she needs to listen to her gut feelings. I think that's very much necessary, to be honest. I don't think this is over the top here. This is why I don't get you guys. I think it's completely fine, the writing here. If you see the two of them like this, they have a nice relationship to each other. Yeah, but you should not forget that this is a projection, or we don't know how Astrid really was, because, yeah, she's not here anymore. We don't see this anymore. She's living somewhere in the past, even though she's in the present, and it's might be projection, you know. Your father was there as well. She was not alone.
I mean, your father was there as well.
I know. Imagine, 2 kids at home.
Oh, come on.
Mom, you know I love Dad with all my heart, but in my view, he probably regards mental fortitude as a kind of superpower.
Okay. It was really hard. I almost gave up so many times. My career wasn't going where I wanted, certainly not as fast as I wanted, but I held on.
You gave me so much energy. I was just happy to write. What should I take here? I like to take both. I guess comedic value in a serious moment. Yeah, this is what this is about. Like a very serious situation, but it wasn't that serious. It's taking away some fears. It's something I would appreciate to tell me, to be honest. Like, I'm a person who's worrying about a lot of things. And if there's like a joke like that, then I would appreciate this. But I think they had such a relationship before she died. Maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't know how old is she or was she there? I'm not quite sure. But I think they had a deep relationship to each other.
I was just happy to write. After years of writer's block, everything unlocked all at once. I think it was your arrival that liberated me somehow. Every morning was magical. I'd grab you in my arms. You'd smile back. You trusted me. I had no more doubt, no more questions. I knew exactly who I was. No one had ever looked at me that way. What an incredible gift.
It's just a shame you spent your best years writing for soap opera.
Wow, you do a great Maggie impression. It's a bit silly, isn't it?
What is?
All of this, me talking to you right now.
I don't think it's silly. It's self-healing. You're not even real. Just look at the sky.
Also, just look at this sky. You usually only get these kinds of sunsets in Hollywood movies. Marie is on death's door and I'm out here chatting with my daughter's ghost?
I told you I'm not a ghost. And I love chatting with you, just getting to know you better.
It's a little late for that, don't you think?
It's never too late for a good story. That's what you always said.
I say a lot of stupid stuff.
And if you'd written down half the ones you taught me at bedtime, you'd be rich. Do you remember the one with the horse tribe that does karate?
Ninja Palooza?
Ninja Palooza?
Yeah, it was so good. And the duck who kept solving crimes around the farm while drunk.
Inspector Junkass?
Drunkass. No one is going to publish that.
That's too bad. It would be a lot better than Marie's books of Russian folktales.
Those books were a snooze fest.
Right?
Then why did you hug her so hard every time she bought you a new set?
Because you can be a child and still know how to be diplomatic. Where are you up to with your script?
I haven't looked at it in ages.
Is your job for Grandma taking too much time?
Everything I write sucks. Getting myself out of bed is taking too much time.
Getting myself out of bed is taking too much time.
Oh, come on. Stop it. The whole trusted thing doesn't suit you.
And, to be honest,
How's Skyrim
I got
going?
fond of the whole petulant tween thing. I liked it better when you were 4 years old.
What are you going to do? Give me a spanking?
No, I suppose you're too old for that.
You've grown up so much.
Oh, you've grown up so much. A proper mini Astrid Hofferson.
Astrid Hofferson? Who's that?
Is it only me or is the in-game sound a bit low? I didn't change anything yesterday. after playing 1.5 hour, I'm getting this feedback. Is it fine or no? I don't know, I have to switch my headset cushions, dude. Feels so weird. It's fine. I mean, I can put it a bit higher, but the music is getting pretty loud. This is why I put it like this. I didn't change it anything. I didn't change anything, guys, with the volume compared to yesterday. Well, I'm gonna make it a bit louder then.
It's a long story.
Ah, my favorite kind.
Okay, but I know you, so you can't interrupt me, okay?
Okay.
When I was pregnant, I spent a lot of time at home. And I used that time to watch a lot of movies.
All thanks to me.
Exactly. You weren't even born yet, but I already loved you so much. Except one day, the internet went down. So, I was forced to comb through your father's nerdy DVDs. And the best I could find was this cartoon.
Now hold on a second. What's wrong with cartoons?
The opinions of a Peppa Pig fan mean nothing to me. Although, you are right. It was really good.
What was it? What was it about?
It was called How to Train Your Dragon. It was about dragons.
I love dragons.
Of course you do. I don't. Dragons are tacky. But there was this great character in the movie.
Astrid Hofferson.
Aha, no interrupting.
No interrupting.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes, Astrid Hofferson. She was a young and courageous Viking. Her belt was made of skulls.
So cool. So she's the hero?
Of course not. The hero is a bumbling idiot who we're supposed to sympathize with just because he has a shitty father. Let's not forget, the movie was written by a bunch of Hollywood guys. But still, Astrid is a great character. Especially because she has a really useful asset.
She's a Varia. She's not afraid to change her mind. Actually, I have super hearing now. It's too loud for me. It's still a bit low. I didn't change anything compared to yesterday. I don't know what to do here. I just hope it's gonna be all right because it's pretty loud for me.
She's not afraid to change her mind. Her tribe has always hated
And Thug is saying it's
However,
completely fine. Yeah, we're somewhere in the middle.
within like 30 seconds, she understands that he's cool. Do you realize how much courage that takes?
I guess change is always hard.
Very hard. But maybe a little bit less so if you learn how to do it when you're young. And she's also really supportive of Harold, the idiot hero. When he's doubting himself, she's there for him. Not to snuggle, though. Quite the reverse. She shakes him up. She chews him out. All of this leading up to the realization that he can make it on his own. I thought that was beautiful. I told your dad that night and he laughed. He said he'd always loved that character too.
And that's why my name is Astrid?
It is. We were hoping you would become a warrior, a rebel, sensitive and smart. Someone like Astrid Hofferson.
Someone like you.
Excuse me?
Don't be modest. You've done pretty well so far.
Wait, what do you mean by so far?
Well, with Auntie Jan and Dad. You struggled for a bit, but eventually you managed to find the right words. That was impressive.
Oh, not really.
I'm lost.
I'm lost. I'm completely lost. My brain is a mess.
I've seen worse.
Really?
Do you remember my room? Now that was a mess.
Oh, my little fawn. Before you were born.
My grandmother's name is Astrid. I think I remember you said this once. It's actually a very pretty name. I was so terrified.
I was so terrified.
Of what? The delivery?
No, which is weird actually, because objectively speaking, the thought of pushing a head as big as a coconut through my vagina...
Mom! You're so gross! I mean, it's not like you're gonna traumatize me, but I meant to be like 9, remember? So what was it that was so scary then?
I was going to share my life with someone for the first time.
But you were already sharing it with Dad.
Yeah, that was edgy, yeah, but for me, she's not talking to real Astrid here. She's talking to her mind. Astrid is not existing anymore. It's a projection, but
things will never be the same between us.
she's imagining the answers, of course.
For life.
And that was scary?
I was a little afraid of losing myself, But I also loved the idea. When you were born, I knew only one thing. I'd never be alone again. That's how it was supposed to be. But I screwed it up. I was a shitty parent. Just like I was a shitty daughter and a shitty wife. And I lost you.
Mom, stop. You didn't lose me. You really think that what, disappeared?
I abandoned you.
I abandoned you.
Oh,
I
this
think about it all the
guilt
time, whenever I
she's
close my
feeling.
eyes.
What happens when you close your eyes?
I feel the shards of glass.
I feel the shards of glass on my skin, on my clothes, beneath my feet. I see the crown of your hair, sparkling like a tiny sunshine on the tarmac. And then I see your open eyes. How can I ever be happy with that tattooed on my eyelids?
Mom, maybe you should stop thinking about it. Thinking about it like that, I mean.
I don't want to. I mustn't. If I stopped thinking about it, that would be like killing you all over again. Astrid?
And now she's gone.
Don't leave me, Astrid. I don't want you to leave.
Killing you all over again. We're just trapped in this shitty time loop here. It's the worst time loop I was ever in. What happened that day? Something with the window. What?
I know. That's what I need to focus on. I think it's coming back. Yes, it is. Just try a little harder, Junon. I need to dig deeper.
The sunglasses.
Really? Do I have to? Do I need to recall this particular exhibit of Marie's? It's a nice memory for her, obviously, but for me it's pretty bitter, even though I can't explain why exactly. A lot of memories came back to me that night. I would stand in the middle of the gallery with my
Oh, I
eyes
love
closed,
this effect. Looking through the painting,
as
seeing
if
the
they were
sceneries.
connected in some way. Come to think of it, there may be something to unearth in my own personal exhibit. We'll see. Let me show you around.
Beach day number 3.
You know this tableau, my little fawn? It's been gathering dust in the back of my personal collection. I haven't displayed it in ages. Here the artist is depicting her first day at the beach with her daughter. Do you remember?
The sand.
You started worshipping the sand as soon as we got there. You were delighted. We were already imagining you as a teenager with like 7,933 vials of sand everywhere and a subscription to Sand Fans, the Arenophile review. Hey, if it was between that or weed, we weren't sure which would be worse. The
Summertime.
weather was so nice that day. We had eaten ice cream under the big umbrella. Then you pulled out your little tongue, your head got close to my arm, and I felt something cold and wet above my elbow. You taste salty, you said. You came up to me with a huge seashell. I never understood where you found it. You handed it to me with great pomp and told me I had to write a movie about it. I complained, I don't know his life. I have no idea what he's thinking about, if he's sad or... And then you asked me, so about what is it that you write movies then? And I was speechless for a moment, but...
Happiness.
Suddenly I felt it welling up in my heart and my stomach.
There's the book again I just saw.
And then that's it. That's what I wanted to write about. I had totally forgotten this, but at one point in my life...
And I think Astrid was small like this, to be honest. So in her imagination, she definitely grew there. That's quite interesting. I think I know what happened. Maybe not. I'm not sure. You also had the theory that we were driving Astrid over. But she's definitely in the car. I could also hear the conversation. Ceremony 12.
Since the dawn of time, people have needed rituals to mark the big life events. Here, the artist is depicting her final farewell to her daughter. At least that's what she thought at the time.
Ashes.
Neither Alex nor I could picture you in a tiny coffin. We really preferred that you remained with us. Like fine sand in a pretty vase. But in the end, even that was too heavy. I kept thinking about it.
I can't read this. Oh, Diane.
One day, on a whim, I made the call. I didn't tell your father. I didn't feel like explaining. I just called Diane, and I told her to meet me over there, by the sea. And she didn't ask any questions, nothing. She just said, I'll be there. I was crying when we arrived at the cliff, overlooking the beach. Diane gently took out the urn from my hands, opened it towards the sea, and she said, Donnie was a good bowler and a good man. He was a man who loved the outdoors and bowling. I burst out laughing and snot splurted out of my nose all over my fucking chin. And Dan was laughing too, and 1,000 particles of you flew out around us, all up in my hair.
Liberation.
I thought it would be freeing to see you leave like this. Disappear. That was the goal of this ceremony. But now I know that it didn't work. It didn't make me feel free. Rather, it made me feel the emptiness.
But I think no matter what she would have done, this feeling would be always there. At least like free like a bird.
Here, the
Room
artist is
0.
depicting herself on the bus, back from the shore. Outside, the setting sun represents something or other. Is it the end of something? Or the beginning?
When we were in the car and she's maneuvering the phone on the road, is Astrid in the car? I'm pretty sure she's in the car. I'm pretty sure. You know what? I'll try to stop speculation and just absorb the game. That's fine. This is a dream interpretation in Celtic mythology. The deer was considered the embodiment of the patron goddess who guided lost wanderers out of the forest again. The theory that she's in the coma after the accident and relives everything, but it can also be all wrong. I also had the same thought at some point, but then don't forget at the beginning, we still need to decide about Marie. And I think that's very much real. Urn.
I was holding your urn against me the whole way back. It was empty, but it felt heavier than ever before.
Poem?
I looked outside the window, and this poem came to my mind. It's Lamartine. I had to learn it by heart in high school. Setting or just rising in a sky clear or gray, What good is the sun? I disregard the day. Were I to track the whole long course of his travel, my eyes would just witness all the void and gravel. I desire nothing that he could ever disperse. I don't demand a thing from the great universe.
Empty.
I was all by my lonesome on the bus back, with just a few specks of you.
Void.
That's what I felt when I came back from the cliff. The poem, the empty bus, the urn on my knees. A void. Back then, I thought it was a good thing. I said to myself, maybe I can start writing now that this is done. And then, nothing.
Self-portraits.
I remember almost every word of the pretentious card next to Marie's painting. The auto-portrait series is undoubtedly Marie de Mange's most ambitious work to date. She arranges herself in a discomfiting position, ripe with malaise, and also a certain eroticism. Self-portrait number 8 is the final entry in the series, and one of the most powerful paintings of the 21st century.
I like that voice. Intuition.
Never could bring it up with Marie.
Good night, Bansley. Well,
But I'm sure that these paintings were actually inspired by the accident. The ground she's lying on. I can almost guarantee you it's pavement. And her discombobulated body as if her bones were broken. No one knows that except me. I believe she painted you instead of her. Why on earth would she make such a twisted thing, do you think?
vulnerable.
Apparently the critics and the public loved it. That
I'm
was
wondering
the
if the game
series
will
from
reveal the
which
dramaturgy of
everything
this story.
started
Oh,
for
I'm
Marie.
very sure.
I must say that there was
I'm very
something
sure. We're
poignant
working
in
on
these
it. That's going to
paintings.
be the goal.
The sweet and vulnerable mystery in her eyes. It made me sick.
I think we're done here. Also here. What am I missing? Oh. Writing.
I couldn't believe how many paintings Marie had done since you died. Meanwhile, I couldn't write for my life. It made no sense anymore. When I left Alex, I did get started on something, as if separating from him had inspired me. But after a few months, nothing I had written was worth reading.
Wrong.
Those paintings made me so angry. I kept thinking this. Marie is feeding off of my bereavement. Through her art, she managed to turn what happened into something else. Something beautiful. I, on the other hand, had nowhere left to go in that moment. I couldn't do it anymore. My bag of happiness was ripped to shreds. Thank you for visiting this exhibit with
Still
me,
with
my
me.
little fawn. What did you learn? When I see all of this again, I wonder what made me think that making you disappear would take the pain away. Attempting to erase every bit of you meant locking me out of this incredible little room inside my heart. The place that gave me life. The place that inspired me. Now I know that I need to keep that space for you within myself, so that I can write and I can live. You're still with me.
She's always going to be with her.
You really think that I... What? Disappeared?
Still with me.
No, of course not, my little fawn. But when you died, I found myself in an impossible situation. I was thinking about you all the time. I kept telling myself it was my fault you weren't here anymore. It's awful to love someone that much, you know?
On the contrary, I think it's beautiful.
Sure, it's beautiful and awful. So I looked for a solution.
How?
I did what I always do. I watched movies.
Like what?
Manchester by the Sea. Both movies are really good by them. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Those two movies are so well made. I love Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's such a good movie. But Manchester by the Sea is also super well made.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's
Funny
about
they're
a
mentioning this here.
Mom.
I know. I just wasn't in the mood for rom-coms at the time. If I had been, I wouldn't have gone for something starring Jim Carrey. Anyway, in the movie, there's a machine that erases people's painful memories. Jim Carrey is heartbroken, so he uses that machine because that's the only way he can go on living. That's what I tried to do with you, to get you out of my mind.
Except you didn't have a machine.
No, I had medication, I had a job, and I even did a farewell ceremony. I thought that if I could get you out of my head, I might be able to feel better.
Did it work?
Of course not. Why should it? That wasn't the right way to handle things. Now I know how lucky I am
Sasu.
to be able to think about you every day.
Never heard of them?
Though it's hard
You can
sometimes.
definitely watch them. They're really good. If you want to see Jim Carrey in a serious role, you need to watch the last one. It's really good. Also making you think about lots of things. Think about your laugh. Think about the downy little fluff on your arms.
I think about your laugh, the one you made when your dad would attack you with a toy
I'm
knife.
sorry for scaring you. A little sound alert with a Zazu boy. Think about your little doodles. Think about the smell of your sweat.
I think about your little doodles. You came back from kindergarten every day with fistfuls of them. We filled up all the walls with them. So we ended up having to sneak some into the garbage.
I knew it!
But I promise I always looked carefully at them before.
I think about your birthday pizza. I think about the way you would sound complicated words.
I think about your birthday pizza.
My... what?
For your 4th birthday, you didn't want a cake and asked for a 4-cheese pizza. Your father was so proud. I think about all of it, little dear. And it's a reminder that you are here with me. I carry that with me into every decision I have to make. And I won't let it go for the world.
All the memories.
I'm better now, you know? It still hurts like hell. But I get it. I can survive this. On a good day, I can even convince myself that it could be worse.
You might have been a goth teenager. Might have never fallen in love with Alex.
I might have never fallen in love with Alex.
Really?
Do I need to remind you that he's a video game developer? Those guys are terrible conversationalists. You've taught me all of this. You helped me open doors inside myself. That's what allowed me to grow. Of course, I'll go on without you. I have to. But it's really, really sad.
How does the movie end?
What movie?
The Eternal Sunshine of...
A little spoiler here, I guess.
No. Well, Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet meet again. And since they don't remember each other, they fall in love again. But then they find old recordings of them saying horrible things about each other.
And? Do they split up again?
No. They decide to experience their relationships again because they want to recapture the good memories, even though they know that it's going to hurt them. I loved that ending.
I know
Yeah,
what you mean.
it's such a good movie.
I understand why you're sad, Mom. But you can't be sad forever. It doesn't help you, and it doesn't help me. Life's short enough as it is. Why waste any more time?
Can't watch the movie. Thanks for the spoiler. It's still a super well-made movie. You can still watch it. I mean, I think it's very obvious in the end what's gonna happen, but really like the effects of this game. It's very unique. It's very, very unique. And I think this movie is also pretty old. Do you think it's that easy? I need to be sad. Sometimes it's necessary.
I need to be sad.
You can be so egotistical sometimes.
Excuse me?
Where do I fit into all this?
But I was just...
So what? I'm going to be a bad memory for the rest of your life? A distressing thought inside your head? Do you even realize what that means? I'm scared.
Oh, what are you scared of, my little phone?
I'm scared that I'll disappear.
But you're already dead.
That's not the point. I'm talking about disappearing from here. This is the only place where I still exist. Just here. But I don't want to be this rusty nail that's killing you by degrees. You do realize that's not me at all? You do know that if you keep at this, I'm not going to exist anywhere. Anymore. You don't have to do this to me, Mom. You don't have to do this to yourself. How much longer do I have to make you miserable?
I know you don't deserve that.
I know you don't deserve that, my little dear. It's all my fault.
Stop it, Mom. Just stop. You're stuck on repeat. I know that this can be easy to process. And I know that the truth hurts. But right here, right now, you're gonna have to remember. Really.
I'm not sure what you mean. What are you talking about? Astrid? Astrid!
We need to remember.
She's right. Of course she's right. I need to remember now. It's time. I think I'm ready.
What happened that day?
That's it. I remember now. Not everything.
This is the worst time Luba was ever stuck in.
Please crack a window. All that rain brought a cold front.
It had just rained. The road
Marie was in the car.
Shit, I can't drive with these heels on. I didn't sleep all night. I can't focus. Also...
I was exhausted, stressed out, in no condition to drive. I was nervous about meeting with my producer.
Mom, watch for the deer!
I don't know why I didn't see the deer earlier. My mind must have been elsewhere. When I heard your warning, my first thought was to avoid hitting it. They were your favorite animal. So I swerved and we ran off the road. And then...
Okay, let's start this with this one. That explains Marie's injuries and Astrid's death. And no, because Astrid died 5 years ago, and Marie is injured right now. So those are two different kind of events, I should say. I'm gonna grab some water though. I need to drink something. I'm gonna be right back, like in 1 or 2 minutes, and then we're gonna keep going with the rest of the game. I think we're slowly reaching the final here. I'm gonna be right back. Why is the car crash still happening? Is this a bug? All right, I'm gonna be right back. Hey, I'm back again with some water. Stay hydrated, chat. Oh, I see the birds are not there anymore. Nope. They know. Oh, the cockroach is still happening in the background. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. And no, Josh, you're not the wreck. No, you're not. What kind of damage did Marie suffer? Astrid's death is still unknown. We don't know. We don't know. I don't think we need to be there in detail. Maybe also some kind of car crash. I have no idea. But I think those are two different events. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Let's see what this is about. Acid and Daddy. Acid and Mommy. Hearing this car crash sound is so traumatic, actually. There's a sound I'm also never gonna forget. It's so relatable here. But we learned that Marie and Astrid were in that car during this accident. Yes. I thought it was Alex first. No, definitely Marie. It's packing all the stuff. Astrid.
Listen to me, Junon. You and Alex brought an extraordinary little girl into this world. Astrid was our sunshine.
It's also the first time we're hearing Astrid's voice.
You were able to make such a being because you have it in you. The sun.
Except in during the car crash.
It shines. So hang on. And shine bright. I know you can. I'm proud of you.
That's the shirt why she's
You and
saying.
Maggie have a connection that's peculiar. You used to spend hours in her shop watching her paint. She loved that you were so curious. She smiled at you, explained stuff to you. She asked for your opinion about her work. Can you imagine? When I was 4 years old, I wasn't even allowed in her damn workshop. But you had something inside of you that completely changed her. Actually, I think this is what saved me that day. The idea that even Marie could be touched by a ray of sunlight. There had to be one out there for me too.
She's wearing a shirt where it's saying the sun is dead, and her mother is mentioning the sun. You need to shine.
Damn, June, I can't believe it. I'm going to be a dad. We're going to be parents. When I got your picture, I yelled so loud, I think 3 guys here had a stroke. I'm just unable to focus on work. I'm so happy. It feels so... I feel like it's going to change my life.
I mean...
No, I mean, it's going to change me. Like, I'll never be the same again. I can't wait. And you, what do you think?
I think you should take the afternoon off and come home.
Oh, okay. But why? Is there an emergency? Do you need me?
I don't need you. But I am wondering what it's like to have sex
with a dad.
Wow, what a weird thing to say. I'm on my way.
He was right, your dad. When you arrived, he changed to his core. Before you were born, he was always a bit lost, a bit wandering through his own life. But from the day you showed up, it was as if everything had become clear for him, as if he finally understood what he was doing here.
This seems like eternity. Like, I don't know, a life a life we're not having anymore, you know? Everything is gone. He just said casually on my way, of course. Too much excitement. But he was sounding very
What
happy.
are you doing, my little fawn?
Playing with Grandma's dollhouse.
What game?
I'm playing you when you weren't a mom yet.
Can I play? I'll be Alex.
Hey, cutie. You come here often?
Do you want a baby?
Oh, this is moving a bit fast. What the heck? Let's make the best little girl on earth.
Of course you'll be the best.
How do you know?
I'm the one making her in my belly, so...
She's very proud of her mom.
Intoxicating. Every time you opened your mouth, I was expecting the unexpected. I loved the way that your little brain continually managed to make sense of the world. But that day, the most astonishing thing was your assurance. How on earth did you have so much trust in me?
I didn't expect that I'm gonna laugh during this gameplay here. Beam of sunlight. Hi, Odelia. Hello. Good evening.
Be the right time for
Welcome.
you to admit it, my little phone. You don't have magical powers. You never had any. You didn't put us under a spell. Not Marie, nor your dad or I. It's easy to hide behind the fact that your being there made everything else possible. And to convince ourselves that your not being there is forever locking us out of being happy. But that's not true. The seeds that allowed us to change were always inside of us. Sure, they were buried deeply, but they couldn't wait to grow. And you were simply an incredible, a wonderful beam of sunlight.
You don't have to do this to me, Mom. You don't have to do this to yourself. How much longer do I have to make you miserable?
Beam of sunlight.
My little phone, I can't do this to you. I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive myself for what happened, but you've brought too much light in my life for me to reduce you to that.
What is that? Mom, what do you mean by that?
You know what I mean.
You know what I mean.
I do, but I'm not sure you do. So I'm going to need you to say it. What is that?
An accident.
The accident. It was an accident.
Yes, it was an accident, Mom. I lived a life full of joy and laughter and vibrating plastic lightsabers.
You shouldn't ever have found that. And it wasn't a lightsaber.
You think I don't know that? I lived a great life full of love. I will always love Dad, Marie, Diane, and you for everything you've given me. For the cozy spot that you made for me in your lives. And then one day, there was an accident. It was an accident. Say it again.
It was an accident. She never did this on purpose. Never. Is Astrid a common French name? I would say so, yeah.
It was an accident.
An accident. A disaster.
In Germany, we would say that's a very, very
There's
old
nothing
name.
to forgive. It's not your fault. You know that, right? Deep down.
Do I? Then why do I feel all this guilt?
Yeah, that's another mystery. You're angry. But are you sure that you're angry at yourself, Mom?
I don't know.
I believe in you. You'll figure it out. And when you do, you'll make the right decision. I think you're ready now.
I'm ready.
It's a very common Norway.
Little phone.
It's not very common in Germany, I wouldn't say so. Astrid is a very, very old name
I've got
here.
this.
I know.
It's interesting. In other countries, it's
I
very
love you
common.
very much, Mom.
In other countries, it's not. Yeah, exactly. I only know grandmas with the name Astrid. Yeah.
Me too, Astrid. I love you very, very much. I know you'll always be with me. I can feel you are here, and it gives me strength. And I'm going to need a lot of that if I'm going to go in there. But Marie needs me.
I think some decision making is coming
And
soon.
we have a lot to talk about. I guess I should have asked the doctor to give me a little something before I went into this room. You don't get free samples of benzos every day.
Okay.
Junon,
Junon.
no bullshit.
Damn.
Hi, Marie. Sorry I made you wait. I had to sort out a few things. A lot of things. But anyway, you knew I was coming eventually, didn't you? You've always had this weird gift of knowing what we're about to do before we even think about doing it. Once again, you were right. I'm here. But I almost didn't come in. I was close earlier, but I just stood outside the door. I was angry at you. I don't even know why. I mean, you're not exactly the warmest mother in the world. Still, why are things so complicated between us? Why do I always feel so threatened when I'm around you? Come on. A crucifix? You? Wait, is it... I remember now. I've seen this before. Was that last night? Shit, now it's all hazy.
So was Junon capable of coping with her grief? I think in my playthrough, yeah. On Steam it was saying my choices matter. I'm not sure if it's for the whole gameplay though, or if it's gonna be in the end. I'm not sure about that. But I think she was grieving on her way, talking to herself the whole time. I mean, deep inside, you know it's not your fault. It was never her fault. She never planned the accident. That was not the purpose.
Hold on. What's that around your neck? Is that a cross?
This? It's a childhood keepsake. I found it in my stuff a while back.
What? Were you a choir girl or something?
It's a bit more complicated than that.
I'm listening. Please, you never told me anything about your youth.
Ugh. What the heck? After all, why not? That might do me good. And I owe you that.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Just shut your mouth, pour me a glass of wine, and listen.
What? Jesus.
We used to live in a small village in the east. Gray, boring, and hidden.
Maybe that's why she had a complicated relationship with her daughter.
Taps on others to tear them down. And of course, these fakers were in church all the time. I spent years in that cesspool, never asking questions. When I was 14, let me tell you, Jesus was my best friend. I would tell him about everything I did wrong in my head. And let me tell you...
Oh, I'm fearing something really bad here.
Nosy, ill-behaved, always running around. A tiny devil. And also, I had this desire and fire in my chest. Nasty thoughts. But I really thought that he loved me as I was.
Drawing.
Back then, I had 3 sources of comfort. Jesus, books, and drawing. So I spent an insane amount of time sketching in the neighborhood churches. It was a disease. Everything I laid eyes on had to end up on a sheet of paper. At least then, people left me alone. Otherwise, let me tell you that I never got a minute of peace. Family with 4 kids living in a 2-room apartment. So, I looked after them. Washing them. Doing their homework. I was the oldest. 7 years ahead of my oldest brother. Those little ones were like my own kids. My mother had too much work. At least, while I was taking care of them, I didn't have those weird desires.
Father.
My dad always had a steak on his plate when he got home. Every night. My mother used to say that he deserved it, working his ass off at the mill for us. But one night, I was still awake when he came home. He was completely shit-faced. He was living in a fallen world. The steel industry was his life, but his life had no tomorrow. So he drank. That night he looked at me... weird. I didn't understand. I felt guilty.
Secret?
We were 2 peas in a pod, my aunt and I. She was the whore in the family. She didn't want to settle. She didn't want kids. She had escaped to live the crazy life in Paris. Freedom. The exact opposite of my mother. One time, she told me something about my mom and dad. Something that blew everything else up. There was an evening dance. He was 19, and she was 15. According to my aunt, he was a bit tipsy. He brought her into a small clearing, and there, he forced her. They had to get married in a hurry after that, when they learned that my mother was pregnant.
Holy shit.
Pregnant with me. My mother always worked her butt off. She would work one factory job after the other, then clean up rich folks' homes. I used to think she was the bravest person in the world. And the strongest. Of course, she had her own temper. She would get into these screaming matches sometimes. And she would drink too. But I was convinced that I could trust her.
The slap.
One night, I went out with some girlfriends and boyfriends. We only went to the movies, but she lectured me. You're bringing shame on this family, she said. People at church are talking. Something bad's gonna happen to you if you keep tempting men. I answered that if it ever happened to
Tempting
me,
man.
I'd marry my abuser. She hit me. For the first time. She hit me again later. I was getting slapped around because she hated her life. I was blaming her for not fighting back. I wasn't going to let her treat me like this.
This is super rough. Betrayed.
The day after, it felt like a spell was broken. The church stank. The sculptures were ugly. And the male-dominated Jesus stuff made me sick. You don't love me, I whispered to him. Bastard. At that very moment, and that, let me tell you, that's something I'll never forget. The Christ started to bleed.
Abuse and violence. What a family to grow up with, huh? But even her mother, goodness. This is very rough. It's not teardrop anymore. It's blood. Femininity.
I had my first period right after my tantrum at the church. I was already 14 years old. Pretty late. But then, my body started to develop. The more my body changed, the more my father scared me. Hell, he terrified me. Not just because he was domineering and brutal. It was uncomfortable even being in the same room as him. He was always watching me, commenting on my clothes. I felt like a piece of meat. The last time she raised her hand to me, she hit me so hard. My nose started bleeding. We were having another fight about one of my outings. By that time, I was going out for real, just to spite her. You know me. She called me a harlot. So, I bit back. At least I'm not gonna stick with the first guy who knocks me up. I didn't have time to finish saying it. Whack! She slapped the shit out of me, and she spit out. If it were up to me, you're the one I would have dumped. It's stupid. But that struck me right in the gut. And that's when it came up, boiling. A rage. I tasted blood in my throat. I couldn't think straight. My ears started ringing. I felt a jolt running through my body. Then and it was over. I couldn't walk it back. This cross is the only thing I have left from her. You know, I took it when I left home that very night. I stole it from her. I don't know why I took it. I used to do that a lot back then. Steal stuff. But I'm happy I did it. It gives me a chance to think about her, to remember. Never to be like her.
Goosebumps. This is very deep and hard. Yeah, I agree. It's very rough. Something I will never understand. How religion can take so much part of your life. It's just dominating. You're doing stuff you don't want to do. hard. What am I missing? Oh, running away.
You see, I'm always telling you to face things head on. But that day, I left. I met with my aunt in Paris with just a few cents in my pocket. I never saw them again. Not her, not him, not the kids. And I never turned back.
His dad was a horrible man, yeah. Absolutely horrible. Disgusting. Unfair.
You hear, Miss Kivas? Shit, don't tell me you fell asleep. Ugh, what a disaster. You really can't handle your booze. Don't worry, daughter. I will still be there tomorrow. And the next day too. There to tell you again what you already know. People are ugly, let me tell you. They're dangerous. All of them. That's just the way things are. It's inside them. The evil is, we need to defend ourselves. Stay vigilant. That's how I got out of it. Jen gets it, I think. But you, darling, you're too weak. You want to trust people. You want to have faith. But I told you many times, you can't trust anyone. Ever.
That's why she is saying that.
To tell you that.
Because she couldn't do it with her
Life's
family.
unfair. That's just how it is.
And this is the reason why they have this relationship.
So this is what your life was like. That explains so many things. Now I understand why you can't trust anyone. Why you don't let anyone love you. Anytime I think about how it must have been for you, it's increasingly obvious. How lucky I was to have Astrid. Every second of my life I spent with her was filled with happiness. You never got to have that. Not as a daughter. Nor as a mother. But how could I forget what you told me last night? I mean, I wasn't all there. Too little sleep and too much wine. But for the first time in your life, you open up a little and I nod off. It's absurd. As if I didn't want to hear it. Was it that I was angry that you waited so long before telling me? Or was it something else? Something I didn't want to look in the face until now?
Past is built of betrayal and survival. Absolutely. All these things are forming us, especially when we are children and teenager. All those things are having a big influence. What's happening? I can choose? Can I choose? We're floating like in the car, yeah. No, every item is floating with us. I wonder if this is the decision making. So, let me go through this. This is one of the first memories when we were little with the bird with the broken wings. This is where we put the kitchen under fire. This is the bathroom scene. This is the scene we just watched. What was the mirror? The glasses? The phone was... The phone was the room where I was holding baby Astrid. The book? there was the apartment, right? Where while she was riding, where we can see her in different positions. But what about this? And the glasses? And the mirror? I can't remember. What was it again? Which one was important to me? The shell is the lobster? Thank you. I forgot about the lobster. The scene... which scene do we also have? The art gallery, the exhibit. Are those the glasses, maybe? Or the mirror? Am I missing a scene? I'm not even sure if I need to decide here. You were at the beach with Astrid or not? Nah, that was the scene with the picture, the painting and the... No, it was, right? Or am I going crazy now? Or was it the scene at the exhibit with the painting we could look through? I'm sorry, I punched my microphone stand. I think I'm going to take the sparrow peppermints. I'm not sure if there's going to be decision making here. Are we going through every scene again? Maybe you're gonna fully remember the outcome, maybe,
Where did the bird go?
Oh, it's gone.
It is?
Yes. Early this morning, I opened the windows to let in some fresh air. It jumped on the edge of its box, looked at me, and then it flew away.
Oh. Did it look happy?
It did, my dearest daughter. It looked so happy.
That was what I believed.
It was a lie.
Story at the time, without reservation. That's another thing which doesn't work in my relationship with Marie. The fact that she would lie to me because she doesn't believe I'd be able to face the truth. The fact that she doesn't trust me to deal with it.
Maybe she wanted to protect her child, you know? You know what? I wish you were thinking. We can click on every item, I think. The lobster. Change.
What about those over there in the tank? Are they still alive?
Of course. The true connoisseur prefer to cook their lobsters at the last minute. And
I'll take them.
absolutely, miss. Do you want one or two?
I want them all.
I mean, there's about 2,000 in there. Did you win the lottery or something?
Need one of your coolers too for the road.
I think she wants to save them.
Opened the box and threw them back in the sea. Freeing them was pointless, laughable even. But it felt amazing. I was able to change things. I could reject the fact that it is what it is. Just say no. What's the point in being alive if everything's already been decided for us?
Not gonna lie, that just put tears in my eyes because it's very sweet for doing this. We are seeing the truth within each memory, finally. Propulsion.
These paintings are magnificent. But how do you do it?
Oh, well, that's hard to put into words. Usually I have a theme in my head, topic I'm obsessed with, and all of a sudden, becomes clear. The shapes, the colors, they fight their way through my brain. Kind of like visions. And then I simply must paint. I can't control it. In fact, if I didn't paint in that moment, I could flip, do crazy things.
While Diane and I were dancing, I could hear Marie doing her spiel for Sasha. I'd heard it 100 times. The visions, what she called her mystical experience. Whole load of crap. 10 minutes later, I set the kitchen on fire, blinded by the urgency, as if my body was overriding my brain. Just goes to show you. As much as I hate it, she might have been telling the truth about her process. I guess I work like that too.
Let's take the book then. Neat.
And so, you're working for Marina.
It's not like that, Alex.
Like what?
I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I left you to run back to my overbearing mother's clutches. No, you're wrong. That's not it.
I'm well aware that you don't need your mother. She's the one who needs you.
For a moment, Marie.
Oops, I'm sorry for clicking too fast. Loving.
I still can't believe how much Astrid loved that house.
Why are you surprised? It's awesome.
Really?
Well, yeah. Have you looked at it up close? There's all these little intricate details. You can open the doors, move the furniture, turn on the lights. Marie must have spent a lot.
I would have loved this as a kid, to be
I
honest.
think it's an awesome present.
When Alex said that, I was reminded about my mobile. Just like the house, it was magnificent, intricate, exquisite. I believe that's why I kept it in my room for so long, hanging above my bed. These two presents were the two singular proofs that Marie cared for us. That was her way of saying she loves us.
So what was this mirror again? I forgot. Oh, I thought... never mind. I thought the comp would be the bathroom scene. Did I miss it? I think I missed it. Yeah, definitely missed it. But where was it? Where is it? Oh, help.
Mom, thank you.
What for?
You know what for. For what you just told me. For not giving up on me. For your help.
Listen to me, dear. One thing is for sure on this wretched earth. A single thing. It's that you don't need to thank me. For anything. I'll see you Monday at the studio.
I found that really weird at the time, this whole exchange. First of all, Marie saying beautiful things, sounding more loving than ever before. But on top of that, her almost scolding me for thanking her, as if extraordinary circumstances had forced her out of her self-imposed duty to bully me, and that she was having a hard time coming to terms with it.
Let's take the phone. You're right, Zazu. Just needs to let it out. Family.
Thank you for the mobile. I can't believe you managed to find it.
Oh, it's nothing.
You want to stay for a bit? Coffee, maybe?
No, thank you. I gotta go. I have a meeting.
A meeting?
Yeah, a thing. Don't worry about it. Say hi to Alex for me.
Oh, I'll call him. He's just in the next room.
Oh. Hi, Alex. Bye, Alex. Done. Gotta go. Bye.
I rarely saw Marie being ill at ease, but the few times it did happen was when she came to the house to visit when Astrid was born. It was as if she felt like she was intruding on our family. Maybe because she didn't know what it was like having one.
Those are not sunglasses, those are just her glasses, right? But I was right with the exhibition. Glad I could remember this one at least. Huh? Competition.
Mademoiselle, could I have another glass of champagne?
I don't work here. I'm Marie Demange's assistant, also her daughter.
Her daughter. Remarkable. But you don't look anything like her. Do you paint as well?
No, I don't. I'm more of a...
Of course you don't. Why would you? With such a talented mother around.
Okay.
I've never felt like I'm competing with Marie. My love for the movies...
What is this? What was the sentence?
Without thinking about her. But perhaps she was actually feeling threatened? As if the
Holy mo! People are not thinking when they're talking. So inappropriate. Holy moly. And now she's still thinking about that. The last one.
This isn't news to you. It's a
Curse.
but that's how it is. You didn't choose to be my daughter. I didn't choose to be my mother's daughter. I could blame it on God, but that would be giving him too much credit. I don't know who's to blame, really. I do know that it's unavoidable, though. And Astrid, she didn't choose us either. She wasn't supposed to be part of this family. At first, I thought that she could be the one to break the cycle, but in the end, the curse got her too, and it hit again. Harder. My shitty curse.
Very superstitious. I think you can always turn around. One last time. Taking the keys for her car. What are they talking about here? can't focus. Need? Is it saying need? I can't focus. It is saying need, right? Need.
Oh, it's stifling hot in there.
Yeah, sorry, AC's broke. Get in, we're running late. Don't sit on my script.
You could at least crack a window. All that rain brought a cool front.
Mima, Mima, Mima.
Oh, sweetheart. How are you doing? You look great today.
I'm a princess, the computer princess.
That is so special.
Can we get going?
All right, all right. We have time.
I don't. I need to drop off Astrid at Mina's and then I have a meeting at the production office to show my...
Just start the car. That will teach me to ask you for a special favor.
Yeah, this is the third special favor this week, Marie.
Just go. In great.
Propulsion, right? Not sure if it's coming closer. I think so, but it's disappearing. Am I doing something wrong here? No, I think I need to wait. Propulsion.
I can't drive with these heels on.
Why are you even wearing these things?
Silly me, just dressing up for a business meeting.
Sweetie, what present did you bring for me now?
A Clay-Doh pizza factory. I love pizza.
You look really flushed, dear. Are you too hot? Let me take your coat off.
Marie, what on earth are you doing?
Just for 1 second.
Forget it. Sit down. We're almost there.
Just watch the road.
You sit
I'm
down
almost...
right now. Stop that.
You are worse than a traffic cop.
I love pizza too. Me too. Competition. I can already see the deer there, you know. I hate that. The worst time loop. Competition.
Shit, watch it. My script.
You're still writing for this garbage? Damn, scabious. You might have the lowest self-esteem I've ever seen, but I must admire your perseverance.
No one asked for your opinion. I didn't sleep all night. I can't focus. Also, I'm too old for this.
Okay, I'm taking off my coat now.
Anyway, sounds like you're not yet too old to be a mediocre writer.
It's so rough to say. Why would you talk like this? Help, right? I need to focus it somehow, but I don't know how. Help. Help! Literally help! There you go.
Marie, please. This is too much praise.
I have to prod you some way or another. You are so incredibly lazy.
And they keep coming. All these flowers. Really, I can't.
Nothing ever comes easy to women in this industry. I had to build it all myself. No one was there to help me. I slept 4 hours a night when you were born. I worked all the time to provide for your needs.
Oh, you really gave me everything, Marie, except perhaps self-esteem. Oh, and a father.
You're not making sense, June. You and your sister would be nothing without me, and you know it. You're both churlish and fearful. I gave you everything, and you're just squandering it all to write soap operas. Maybe you'd be a better writer if you had to toil a little bit more. Who knows?
I understand why she's saying that, but it's such a toxic way to say. So insanely toxic. So find it strange that Junon is using the name Marie instead of using mom, but you see how problematic the relationship was. I completely understand why she's doing it.
I need help with the thingy.
What's that, my little phone?
Sure, just change the subject.
I am not changing the subject. We weren't talking. What am I supposed to say when you get mad like this?
I get mad because I believe in you.
Stop yelling.
We're not yelling, sweetheart.
Anyway, this little one is only one thing you've done well.
Speaking of which, if we could
But if you're
avoid...
mishandling her the way you fucked up your career, that's concerning. Children are delicate. They need protection. You can put even the best child in a shitty family, they're gonna blow up.
Wait, why are you even saying that? What are you talking about exactly?
I don't think you should have also this conversation while driving. I don't think that's good. Now the curse is coming. That was their last conversation. It seems like it. Or in front of the child, of course, yeah. Imagine.
Turned out okay in the end, didn't we? Whatever you think.
You don't get it. There's something hanging above our heads. All of our heads. Something that's about to fall on our heads if we're not careful. It's been there forever. Passed from one woman onto the next in our family. Like a disease.
Are you sick, Mimo?
No, sweetie, she's not sick. This is grown-up talk.
You're right, Junon. Love. Love of self. It's true, I don't think I taught you that. But I think that's because no one taught me either. Or my mother.
Oh, okay, and so you're scared for Astrid?
What is this? Change?
Hold on. You, Marie, the great Marie de Mange, you believe in that nonsense? There's no curse on our heads.
Next time I'll keep my mouth shut.
Unless you keep it open, actually. I know hardly anything about your life. Not a thing. But I do realize that you had a hard time. And that you're scared.
I'm not scared.
I think you are. You're scared we'll turn out like you. But we can change. Everyone can change.
Hello, Phoenix One Smart.
My dear daughter.
Hello.
I'm not sure.
Hi, dear folks. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very, very much for the 28 month. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. And I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Loving. Long time no see. Yeah, indeed. I was actually going through Discord today and I saw your name and I was thinking how you're doing. What a coincidence, huh? Hope you're doing well. Loving.
And that's all thanks to you. You taught us that in your own twisted, painful way. But still,
I did what I could.
and in the end, you did give us the means to change things. You've taught us how we could blow off the entire world and do whatever we wanted. That's your way of showing love, don't you think?
Love isn't my thing.
Oh, Mom, come on. You love me and I know it, in spite of your best efforts to hide it. I can feel it, and I love you.
And I love you too, Mimo.
Oh. Thank you, dearest. Makes me so happy to hear you say that.
Oh, the sound is so horrible. Is that lie? Or life? Lie.
Better when you're nice.
Why are you not in your seat? What are you doing standing up? Marie, why is Astrid completely unlatched?
She was sweating. I just took off her sweater. No big
Shit,
deal.
I told you to keep her safety belt on. Are you kidding me?
You know you're so upset.
She was not having her safety belt.
I would just like you
Mom,
to.
watch for the deer.
Shit. No, no. And she's driving 60 here. Oh, God. I wonder if she blames her mother for that. I'm doing okay, kind of stressed because of the final exam, but I'll pass. You got this, as long as you are prepared. Learn. You should definitely learn, and then you're gonna rock this. You got this. God, I also feel dizzy now. Your fault. I knew it.
It was you? You knew, didn't you? The fight, the unlatched safety belt. I'm sure you remembered, and you didn't say anything. You just hung me out to dry with my feelings of guilt. That's it. That's the real reason. That's why I was so mad at you. I'm sure that's also why you filled in this stupid paper with my name on it. You probably thought that if anything happened to you, it would be some kind of divine justice. I would have a choice of what to do with you. And now I have to make the decision. So what am I supposed to do, Marie?
So we got hope. We got agree and refuse. I have no idea what to take. Hope means we're gonna hope that she's gonna be okay. Agree means we're gonna take away the life support. And what's gonna refuse gonna do? That she's gonna be like this? That she's gonna stay like that? Like in coma? I'm tending to get agreed on. Because this is not a way to live.
Could agree to play by your rules. One last time.
Could also refuse.
Why would I make my peace with you?
Or we could hope.
Maybe we could invent something else. We deserve that.
I understand what you're missing. I really understand. Very well, Marie. We agree. I can't give you what you want. I understand what you're missing. Hi, Saito. Hello there. Welcome. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
That's what you're missing. You've been fuming inside for years because you have no hope. But no one can live like this. Not really. I need hope. That you'll be okay. That you will heal. That life will go on. And maybe even one day, you and I can talk. Really talk. About everything. And if, unfortunately, things don't turn out that way, if you were to die, at least we'll have had this. Hope that things change. Hope to change. I'm not forgiving you, Marie. As Astrid would say, there's nothing to forgive in an accident. The only one I want to forgive is myself. I forgive myself for my failures. for not believing in myself for so long. I'm sorry I had such a hard time realizing how strong I am in my own way. I have the strength to live. I even have the strength to help you live if it comes to that. And with some help from the people who love us, you and I can heal.
Just gonna take some time. The silence in the room is only disrupted by the faint beeping of medical devices. Marie's eyes are closed. She's perfectly still. A moment goes by. Gazing upon her mother, Junon seems at peace. Then Marie's hand twitches. It's a small movement, barely perceptible.
Mom, you promised we'd go to the park.
And we will. Just give me 5 more minutes, will you?
But it's enough for Junon to seize her mother's hand and hold it. You sure you want to validate your screenplay? I think we can take another ending here. But I think I'm gonna stick to that. Wait, you're a grandpa now with 34? How is this possible? Grandpa, did I say grandma? No, grandpa. How is this possible? Congratulations, Don. I want to forgive her because only with forgiving you can move on, I think. If you're going to refuse, you're always going to have this fight with yourself. I'm going to confirm this. The end.
Mom!
All right, Achille. Here we go.
At last! Are you happy with your story?
I think so.
Fine. You'll read it to me later?
I'm not sure. It's not really a story for kids. And
I want to trade the red Stegosaurus today. Did you know his tail is actually a slide?
really? Can I try it too?
Only if we buy ice cream on our way back.
Seems like a fair deal to me.
So that was my computer. I was writing the story. Nobody died?
Gone are the times when I fell into my bed like a rock.
Saito, thank you. I thank you very, very much for gifting 5 subs. Ich danke dir. Thank you very much. You're so kind. Thank you. So kind. Thank you. Dankeschön. Believe with forgiveness you will also find peace. This ending is so open. It's just so open, you know? Oh, Saito, thank you. Vielen lieben Dank. Dankeschön. Thank you. Thank you again for the gifted sub, Saito. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, that was an amazing story. And her mother was calling her mediocre. Thank you so much again for filling up my sub goal. Thank you. Silaraj, danke schön. Sehr lieb von dir, danke dir. So it was I forgot she's a writer, but I'm not sure if everything was imagination, but Astrid is here. Am I just talking to myself again? But I also think maybe it doesn't matter. That was a good story. Write without fear. Wow, that was an amazing game. That was an amazing game. It was containing lots of taboos, which is important to speak about. And the end is completely open. I wonder what other people are thinking of this. Thank you, Bro Rolls, for watching the rec and playing this game with me. Thank you very much.